almost 5 months when I was homeless. And this is me asking friends like, hey, can I stay on your sofa? Can I sleep on your floor?
He's a painter who found himself without a home, so he roamed the streets, slept at bus stops, all the while holding on to his precious canvases.
I went through this phase of insomnia because I was so worried and I hadn't had an experience like that before. So I was mainly just so worried about creating art and not going to sleep, and this fear of, having my work disappear. And I remember this time where it was too hot for me to be out by the bus stop, and I'm just sitting there by the door. And before I used to look at that situation as, I'll pull to the gas stop, whoever was sitting next to the door just there just gonna ask for money. And I found myself in that situation.
Until the kindness of a stranger who offered him a ride.
He dropped me off downtown, and it's just really blessed to have such, encounters with such amazing people.
Like Gilbert, who owns a coffee shop on the west side. Albert wandered by before they'd even served their first cup, and the two struck a deal. If Albert would pitch in and design the new menu, he could hang around and eat grilled cheese sandwiches.
Shortly after I finished the menu board, we both hung up one of my first paintings, and Gilbert always told me, he said, as long as you put in, hard work, other things start happening and you'll be surprised.
The very next day, Albert sold a painting and his hard work paid off. He now has a studio in which he creates brilliant pieces of art. But how did he get from odd jobs and sleeping at bus stops to this?
Albert called me on a phone. I was going to Dallas, and I was meeting with some clients, and he said, hi, my name is Albert. I said, hi, Albert. And he said, can I sweep your floors?
Rex asked him what he really wanted. Albert said, to be an artist. And Rex replied,
go be an artist.
It was not long until more paintings sold, and Albert began to paint in a studio next to Rex, who still maintains that paving the way to artistic freedom and success is just doing it.
You'll learn a lot more from the Socratic method of, yourself than anything else. And as an artist, there is no path. If anybody says there is one, good luck with that. I think it's just a constant readjustment of yourself and your community and those around you. A lot of understanding as to your place in the world, because as an artist, you're very tiny, you're an individual, but if you do what you love to the best of your abilities, and then you show it to people.
So I had my first solo exhibition that I produced with a couple of sponsors and a lot of my own money as well. And I had met this gentleman, his name's Chris, and I was live painting at Viva Taco Land, getting some work ready for my show. And he had seen a couple of paintings that he loved. He didn't buy anything that night, but he ended up coming to the solo exhibition. After the show in October, I believe the following month, he calls me. He's like, hey, remember those paintings that I pointed out? And I remembered them. I was like, yeah. He's like, can you bring those by my house so I could see them here in my house? So I'm already getting super excited. And I take him to his house. I find a ride and take him to his house. And he bought all 5 paintings.
Shortly after Albert invested in the art studio, the University of Texas in San Antonio purchased 5 more paintings, and he was off.
When I went to Philadelphia and New York, I had seen the Henry Matisse cutouts for the first time, and when I got back, I started my Wabi Sabi series, and that series took off, and I continue to work on that every day. It's actually, right behind me, and they say, surround yourself with people you want to be like. So I try to surround myself with just positive energy, positive people that are doing things that I admire, and people that are doing things that I might find a little strange, but it's like, hey, you know what, they're doing it, and I just try to learn from that.